Thinking about moving to New York in 2025? I'm going to break down exactly how much that'll cost you.
A new study out today says the true cost of living has gotten so high, half of the families in the 5 boroughs do not have enough income to make ends meet.
And a family of 4 needs more than about $318,000.
What do you do? What do you do?
So as someone who's lived in New York since 2018, about 7 years now. Now, granted, I've lived in the same borough the entire time I've been here. I know people who've lived everywhere, and I've lived in 5 or 6 different apartments. I've had Airbnb. I've lived by myself. I've lived with strangers. I've lived with people that I know. So I've pretty much had the New York experience as far as hopping around to different apartments and moving in with different types of people. So without beating around the bush, I'm just going to get right into it and tell you how much this is going to cost you to move here if you're coming from out of state and you want to live in New York City. So the first thing that you're going to have to look for is an apartment. Now, it depends on where your job is. If it's remote, it doesn't really matter as much where you live, but if you do have to commute every single day, I guarantee you need to live within an hour of that place via the train, or else you are going to hate your existence. So if you're moving to Manhattan, the average rent is around $4,200. Now that can fluctuate anywhere between like $4,000 up to like $5,200, $5,500. But if you're moving by yourself, odds are you're probably going to want to get a roommate unless you're already established. If you can get a roommate, you can go ahead and split that, but you're probably going to be paying north of $2,000 to have anything bigger than a box just to live in Manhattan.
Enjoyed it?
Yeah. This is why I don't drink.
Now, if you move to Brooklyn, depending on who you're living with, the average rent is around $3,600. I can tell you personally, I live in a 3-bedroom apartment right now, and my rent is about $3,000. That is before gas, that is before electric, that is before any other expense that comes along with that. Now, I do have a 3-bedroom, like I said, so I do live alone. If you don't need all of that space, then don't get all of that space. Just get you a 1-bedroom or get you a studio or get you a 2-bedroom apartment with 1 roommate. Now, if you want to move to Queens, there's a little bit more space in Queens. Queens is a lot similar to Brooklyn, but the roads are wider. There may be less parking, but the apartments are usually a little bigger depending on what part of Queens you're in. And it's around the same price. So the median rent in Queens is around $3,500. So depending on what your commute is like and where your peers and your network is, that can determine whether or not you want to live in Queens or you want to live in Brooklyn. But remember, transportation going back and forth to those 2 boroughs is not ideal. So you're probably going to have to catch an Uber for that. Now, the next thing, assuming you got that out of the way, you're already spending anywhere between $3,000 and $5,000 a month on rent, or maybe you can cut that in half if you have a roommate. So if you have to go to work every day and you're going to be taking the train, that's going to cost you a pretty penny too. Now, they're upping the amount of the train to $3. So no longer going to be $2.90. So let's just assume that you work Monday through Friday and you take the train to and from work. So it's roughly going to cost you about $130 alone a month just on the train, just to go to and from work. Now, that's not counting any one-off activities that you do. That's not counting visiting friends. That's not counting any of that. So you're going to have to set aside an additional $120 if you have to go to work every single day, and maybe add on another 30 or 40 of that for leisure activities or just running errands.
I can't eat. I'm broke, nigga. I'm broke.
Now, if you drive in New York City, then I don't even know if I want to talk about it. Like, I can't quantify that. I can tell you right now that I have $350 worth of tickets that I need to pay from street sweeping, from fire hydrant, from double parking. Like, it makes no sense. Honestly, I probably will make a whole separate video on that because it needs its own video. The next thing on the list is your utility bills. Now, if you live with roommates, obviously you can split these, but if you're living by yourself, you're not going to be able to split these. So the first one is National Grid. That bill is going to come around every single month, and that is your gas bill. Whether or not you cook or not, sometimes your heat may be gas, I don't know, but that bill is probably going to run you anywhere between $30 and maybe $120 every single month. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit higher in the winter time. Now, secondly, your electric bill, which is going to be Con Edison. Now, these people need to be investigated because it's ridiculous. My bill in my last apartment, my 3-bedroom apartment, I had the heaters up top, the wildly inefficient heaters. My electric bill was $400, $500, $600 a month, and I only had 1,000 square feet. My parents have a 3,000 square foot house, and my electric bill is higher than theirs. There's no reason for that. So definitely think about how your energy consumption is, because your electric bill can be insane if you do not pay attention to it. So mine runs me anywhere between $130 and $275 a month. For December, it was $268. And it's just me. You're going to have to budget that too.
Come on, you motherfucker. Ah, shit. God damn. it. Same shit, different day.
Now, water costs, you don't really have water bills in New York City. I think some businesses do, but private residents, you don't have to worry about that. But you are going to have to worry about your internet bill. Here's the tip. Google in your zip code if T-Mobile supports your neighborhood, because you can get $50 internet a month. I've had $50 internet for the past 4 years. So you don't got to worry about Spectrum or any other of those crazy services that never work. So I would highly, highly, highly recommend going ahead and getting T-Mobile network and seeing if it's available in your area. So that's just to live. Actually, I didn't even include groceries in that. So if you want to go out to eat, if you're somebody who doesn't cook, good luck, because ever since COVID happened, or ever since 2020 happened, the cost of goods has skyrocketed. Bacon, egg, and cheese used to be $4 or $5. Now it's $6 and $7. You go to the deli, you're going to be spending almost like McDonald's prices, Chick-fil-A prices, Shake Shack prices. Like, the deli used to be a great alternative to go get food, but now you want a bagel with butter and jelly or cream cheese or whatever, and that's already $3 right there. You want a ginger ale or something to go with it, you're already up to $6. So it's like, it's almost not even worth going to the deli and the bodega anymore. But the grocery stores out here are crazy. So if you can go to Sam's, BJ's, Walmart, any of those places, I recommend that you do that, because these grocery stores that are mom and pop owned are charging you out the wazoo. I mean, like a bottle of syrup is like $9. Like some cereal is like $8.99. Go to Walmart, order your groceries, find a great place that's outside of town, because you have got to save that money, because that bill is just going to be insane for groceries. You go to Food Bazaar, if you go to C-Town, if you go to your local corner market, I highly recommend to not do that. Breakfast hour or what have you. Get yourself a coffee machine, make your own coffee, because these coffee prices are out of control, $4, $5, $6, $7. Highly recommend getting your own coffee. So that's pretty much all the expenses. I don't know if you go out, but if you do go out, please maybe drink before you go, because New York City is a very drink heavy city.
I'm a beer and wine drinker, but once I start, it's hard for me to stop sometimes.
You're an alcoholic.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what it is.
And a lot of times, these places are charging $16, $17, $18, $19 for cocktails. So you can easily have a $120 night just by having 3 cocktails and you're not even tipsy. So pregame, be smart, don't go to paid stuff, and save your money. Save your money, because it's wildly expensive out here. And talking to friends, I think New York City has become the most expensive it's been in the last ever, honestly, because I'm talking to some of my peers, and they're making $60K, $70K, or whatever, and they used to be able to live comfortably on $60K if they had a couple of roommates. Nowadays, $60K is the new $40K. So if you're not making more than $60,000 in New York City, it's going to be very difficult for you. So I'm going to end it there. If you like this video, man, like this video, drop a comment, and let me know what you want to see me talk about. Let me know what topics you want to see me discuss, because I've experienced a lot in New York City, and I'm trying to get it together, trying to get my studio together, trying to get my brand together, and figure out what I want to talk about and what I want to discuss. But I would love to hear from you guys. Drop a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll be back soon with another video. Peace.